In this example, we need to determine if the two images show rigid motion. In other words, with rigid motion, we want the pre-image or the image to be exactly the same size and shape as the new one here. So we're going to identify if it's a rotation, translation, or reflection, or it could be a few of those together, was completed. Let's take a look at this one. This looks like a wagon or a car type image here, and we're going to look at the front here, and I don't know if that's a bumper or some headlights or something, but whatever that is, those are on the right side also down here, so it looks like it's just a mirror image. And we can also tell this by this little crook here kind of at the front of the car, and here that back just goes all the way back. Looks like it's a fastback for you Mustang fans out there. And so I think this is just going to be a reflection because it's in the same position directly across an imaginary line, probably about right there. If it was a rotation, then that would be over here on this side. And it's definitely not a shift. A shift, a translation, same thing, preserves the orientation of the object. So this is a rigid motion, and it's going to be a reflection. This one, this piece, the inside of the U looking shape here, this one's actually in the same spot as well. And I hope if you heard that on the video here, I hope that whoever fell off the bed is okay upstairs. So anyway, this one here is going to be a translation because that open spot is in the same corresponding location. It's not below. That would be a reflection if it was, and this is not really rotated either. So we'll call this a translation. There we go. Yeah, I think we've got that's A and B, and I'm pretty sure we've got another couple here. All right. So in this case, on C here, we know that the orientation is not preserved. The size of the thing is, though, like BC here, we're going this way, I guess. BC is the same length as BC and CD and C prime, D prime, and all the rest of it. It's not a reflection either. It's not flipped this way or flipped that way. So it must be a rotation. It looks like this shape has been just rotated, perhaps 90 degrees counterclockwise or 270 degrees clockwise. So this will be a rotation. In D, we have ABC, triangle ABC, and here's A prime, B prime, and C prime. And you'll notice that the size is not the same, so right off the bat, these two aren't congruent. This one, we're going to list this as not a rigid motion, because the size of the triangle in this case is not the same. In the future, you will call this a dilation. Or a shrink or a stretch, perhaps, are some other words that you might use. These shapes are what are called similar, but because they're not congruent, it's not a rigid motion.